So happy New Year, and I have been gone for a while, but I'm back now, and I had some time to think over a lot of things about the future and about the future of the channel, the topics, and to deal with the chaos that I was dealing with, and everything has been settled down. Those of you who messaged me, checked upon me, I really appreciate it. I got your wishes, and once again, Happy New Year to you. And in today's video, what I want to talk to you about is how to set goals for 2024. But it's not just about 2024, because it's not that important what happens in a year's time, but what happens over 5 to 10 year time horizon, because that time frame, 1 year, is not a lot in the context of big dreams and big goals. Maybe if you have some health goals, you could achieve it in a couple of months. Maybe you have some goals to increase your income 2 to 3 times. That can be accomplished certainly in a couple of months. But the big goals, the big dreams happen over a period of time, over a period of couple of years. And this channel is about fulfilling your biggest ambitions and the frameworks that I have discovered over the last 12 years of struggle, pain, and hundreds of thousands of dollars in mentorship programs, reaching out to many mentors, and going from someone who was involved with substances, someone who was dealing with the pain and the loss of my father passing away at the age of 9, and a single mother working, drowning in debts, living in her apartment in Delhi, and sitting in a room, locked up in a room, and imagining and thinking and planning my life ahead, because I didn't have a father who would be able to guide me with that, and I didn't even have my mother around a lot because she had to work. So at that time, what I had was a pen and a paper. And I also had some substances that I would find refuge in. But one of the most productive things that I could do at that time, when I was 17 years old, this is around 12 years back, I would sit down on the bed and I would write my goals down. And what that did, and I would write down goals around money, around relationships, around the type of beautiful women that I wanted to date, the travel destinations I wanted to travel, the amount of money that I wanted to make, the type of suits I wanted to wear, the type of clothes I wanted to wear, the type of cars I wanted to drive, and where I wanted to live. Because the surroundings around me weren't the most ideal. I knew that if I don't write it down, things may or may not happen. If I write it down, maybe it happens. And I was following a lot of mentors at that time also, and I was going there to them pleading for help. So, and since then, after 12 years, if I look back, I have dated the beautiful women that I wrote down about. I have the dream career that is around doing multi-million-dollar deals. I have traveled most of those I have traveled most of the world. I wanted to live outside of India for a period of time. I lived in Dubai for around 5 years, and I have lived in penthouses. I have driven all the cars most of the cars that I had on my vision board, and the brands and the perfumes I wanted to own. You know, when you're a little kid living in your mother's house, even a perfume is a luxury. So all those things have happened, and I can look back and trace it back to the time where I wrote down those goals. And I would not have believed that a boy who had problems with substances would be able to quit smoking, quit drinking, and get into finance without formal education, and be able to lead some of the most high-profile executives in the country, which I happen to lead now, including a CEO of a $3.5 billion company. And not only that, but getting to a position of negotiating several multi-million-dollar healthcare business acquisitions and doing presentations with banks, major banks in UAE, to seek funding for, $10 million transaction, $3.5 million transactions. And I would not have imagined that kid who was 17 years old, who had acne, some scars you can still see, to look like this the way I do. I didn't look like this. To dress up like this, to talk like this, in front of a camera and in front of thousands of people that are now watching my channel. I wanted these things, but I didn't think it would be possible. So it all starts with a pen and paper. And this exercise that I'm revealing is going to help you orient yourself, and it will help you achieve your most wildest dreams and goals. And at the moment, you may not know, or you may not understand how these goals will happen, but it's not about discovering how right now, it's about discovering what. What is it that you want, and why is it that you want it? So if you really clearly define the what, the mind is a very powerful tool, and it will come up with ways, it will start to unlock the problems and unwind the problems in your life, and start to get you and direct you into the direction of your dreams if you think about it enough, if you write about it enough, and if you define it enough. So that's the whole point of this exercise, and this is for some of you who are really serious about accomplishing your goals. It's something that has worked for me. I practice what I preach. This is not just something that I read in a book and I'm repeating it. That I implemented it in the last 12 years, and it has worked for me. So let's get started with that. I would like you to understand how to do this, and then do it. Once the video is finished, you can come back to this section, look at the instructions, and you can do this very easily. You could do it on a piece of paper. You could do it in a virtual software. There is a thing called Trello, where you can type things and you can map out your entire mind in a beautiful format. You could use any software. If you use that, you could use the notes of your phone. All of that's fine. So there are a couple of core areas that we would identify in this exercise. One of them is money, activities that you want to do, travel destinations. All of this is linked with money. Then you've got relationships, which is with women and with men. The type of business partners you might want to have, the type of mentors you want to have, or the type of relationships, partners, female partners that you may want to have. If you're a man, if you're a woman, the type of male partner you want to have around you. I want you to think about all of that. And then you've got happiness. How do you want to feel inside your body? It's important. You could have the best body, best physique, everything in the world, but you may not feel good. So how do you feel about yourself? Do you feel confident? Do you have self-esteem? Do you have happiness? Do you have fulfillment? So all of those things will come under happiness. These are intangible things. These are things that cannot be measured, but things that are important. That will come under happiness column. And then you've got health, the type of habits that you want to have, because it's not just about accomplishing material things and having a bad body or unhealthy body that doesn't feel good. You want the full spectrum of health, money, relationships, and happiness. And one of the things that I like to also add is the locations that I want to travel and the toys that I want to have. So there is a money, relationships, health, happiness, then toys and locations that I want to travel, and then you could also write activities. So under these banners, you could write as many things as you can, and you should. Do not hold yourself back. Nobody is judging you. It's just you in your space with this piece of paper or several pieces of paper or your phone, and just let everything out. It's there inside, boiling, eating you up, and things have to come out. maybe your environment has suppressed you to bury these hidden desires. You know, I don't care if your desire is to be with 5 women. Write it down. It's okay. You don't have to judge yourself morally on those desires. Just write it down without any guilt, without any shame. Just write it down. And define it, refine it, how much money you want to make, what places you want to travel, and be as clear as you can. Once you do this, you would have really defined what is it that you want. And what will start to happen is that over the next few weeks and months, this thing will sort of go at the back of your mind, and you would start to look at situations and look at your life from this new lens. And you will start to see what is consistent with this goal of yours and what is not consistent. So things that are relevant, things that are not relevant. And one of the things that I saw when I wrote down all my goals is that to accomplish those goals, I have to stop drinking, smoking, and hanging out with my friends. These are the 3 things that I immediately saw, because there is no way I could be productive drinking alcohol and spending time with my friends. And there is no way that I could predictably live long enough if I'm smoking. So I didn't want to be in a position where I accomplish all my goals and I get lung cancer. And my father passed away with lung cancer. So those of you who think it's not real, cigarette smoking doesn't cause lung cancer, my father passed away with lung cancer, and I saw it with my own eyes. So I could not lie to myself about it. So this is why I saw things which were inconsistent with that future. Friends and people which were inconsistent, habits that were inconsistent. And I started to remove that, and before you know it, my skin started to get cleared up, because and I also had a goal to have a clear skin. It's weird, but whatever, you know. That's what I wanted at that time. When your face is full of acne, that's what you would dream. And so when I removed those chemicals, my skin started to clear up. My diet started to become clean. I started to become healthy. I also started to become more and more good looking, and women started to notice me. And then eventually I started to practice a lot of yoga. I don't know where in my life yoga programs started to come. I started to attend them, and I got rid of my environment. And then I started to attend a lot of programs on leadership, communication skills. I started to write down skills that I would need to accomplish my goals, and suddenly I found myself getting absolutely focused, obsessed even. And I started to lose interest in my immediate surroundings. You know, my immediate surroundings became kind of like sacrifice for my ideal scenario. And that allowed me to accomplish my goals, because the immediate surroundings became completely unattractive to me. Because what the picture in my mind was so beautiful that I wanted that to happen around me, and I was willing to pay the price of mediocrity to achieve greatness. So sacrificing mediocrity is not really a sacrifice, right? You're just going for the greatness, your own greatness. And in the last 12 years, I have quit smoking, I have quit drinking. Although this year I started a little bit, wine from time to time, but for good 8-9 years I didn't drink. I have a decent diet and thriving career. I have dated beautiful women and you know, made money and started this channel, which is something I wanted to do since last 10 years. So this is a framework I wanted to offer you on the day of New Year's, and I will talk to you soon.